Dreamy is in, and this is January, stall number 6, the last one. Loaded quickly, all in. Ready. They're off. Bet365 Fillies Mile as they begin. The royal blue of Desert Flower passed by Dreamy, who strides through into the lead. One of her stable mates, Ballet Slippers and Blue and Orange, moves through into second place, and another of the stable mates, January, in the purple and white, is sharing third place with Desert Flower. Then we have Turbiti, green, pink and white colours, Anna Swan in the red, and California Dreamer is between those. They head through first couple of furlongs already. Ballet Slippers and Dreamy are the pair that stride along in front. There's a length and a half maybe the best turned out winner and favourite, Desert Flower, alongside January. Another length to Turbiti, the pink cap, company with California Dreamer, and Anna Swan in the red, white and blue colours in company there as well. They're heading past the halfway stage in this Bet365 Fillies Mile, and Dreamy on the left, just about in front. Ballet Slippers in second place, be about a neck behind her. A length and a half off these is January, running in third place and beginning to make progress. Three from the left, ridden along, is Desert Flower. Extreme left is Turbiti. California Dreamer is next. Off towards the right is Anna Swan at the rear of the field. Heading down towards the dip, Desert Flower and January now striding clear from the others. Ballet Slippers is back in third. Anna Swan behind this. Desert Flower, William Buick has the advantage at the furlong pole by 2 lengths. January in second position, and they're heading inside the final furlong, and Desert Flower will remain unbeaten and wins by many lengths in this Bet365 Fillies Mile. Desert Flower, second is just going to be January to Ballet Slippers, and they're clear from Dreamy in fourth.
Well, Desert Flower has just been devastating in the Fillies Mile. Charlie Appleby, of course, trains, so it's a double for him on the day. There was just a point where I was asking myself, how well is she going? And then that final furlong happened.
I have to say, it's very rarely I do get it right, but I did say to William, I said, you know, she's a filly, she'll jump, she'll travel. I said, but just the way she conducts herself in the morning and what we saw at Doncaster, she's still very raw. I said, don't be surprised now, William, if she just gets lost in that dip. And I think that's what we saw. He says, you're right. For once, that, you know, he said, I just wish she was just finding her feet in the dip. He said, but once we hit the rising ground, he said she galloped down. He said, I could hardly, you know, pull her up. So yeah, very pleasing performance. I love the way she paraded today. You know, after Doncaster, a few people thought, oh, we were going to see something a bit more special there. But to be fair, I think she challenged herself as well as everybody else on the day. I wasn't there. Alex Merriam and Chris Durham were there, along with Paul, and she was a bit of a handful. And William said, after going down to post, I wasn't sure quite what sort of filly I was going to have throughout the race. He says, but once she jumped off that day in the race, and just popped her in behind one, he says she's just ultimately, you know, she switches off and does it all the right way around. So, but today the added advantage was she paraded very well, and you know, she's got a head that hopefully for the winter now she'll have something to think about, and she'll be a maturer filly in the spring. Yeah,
sounds like she's already matured quite a bit from Doncaster. I assume it would be straight to the 1,000 guineas for her.
Yes. I see no reason to do anything. I mean, as you saw, she's a filly who won't take much to get fit. She's quite, you know, she's got a scopy filly, but you'd love to see her put a few kilos on during the winter. But she's just one of those fillies. She hasn't really. I was saying to a few of the team here, she hasn't put a kilo on since sort of midsummer, and she's had nice gaps between her races to do so. But she's just that. The makeup of her so far, and we'll see what she does for the winter.
And I was intrigued, she's got an Irish Guineas entry now. Obviously they close very early, but it's kind of not your style these days, is it, to enter ahead? If they have to prove that they're good enough, and then you supplement it. That would be fair, wouldn't it? Is this a filly that you were just so utterly convinced this is a Group 1 filly and let's do it now? Yeah,
we probably haven't had the fillies for a little while either, but she's a filly that has pleased us. I mean, we were, you know, confident with her in her maid, and she's just kept pleasing us all the way throughout. And when I say pleasing us, some people say you say a lot of it, repeat yourself quite a bit, but she's not an exciting filly in the morning, but the way she just does stuff and the way she pulls up at the end of her gallop, she hasn't been through a gallop. You know, she won't excite you. She's not going to go 5 lengths clear in a gallop, but she'll go a length up with nice lead horses and pull up, and won't be a puff out of her, and she'll walk home. So that's what sort of gives you the encouragement.
Okay, now I'm not going to separate you from your trophy this time, but First of Love, she's pushed through into the picture. Does this filly, in your mind, is she still clearly top of the pile, Desert Flower?
For sure. What she's done today and what she's done throughout her career so far, most definitely.
Congratulations.
Thanks, Lydia.
Thank you. Godolphin have got at least 2 very exciting fillies on their hands based on today's evidence. Verse of Love, who won the opener, but at Group 1 level at the top of the pile is Desert Flower, having won the Mayhills. She's now won the Fillies Mile, and she was very, very good in the end.
She was very good, and I was very happy throughout the race. I was happy with how she relaxed, and the pace was on. It was good and even the whole way. So, you know, in this ground for the fillies, it was a true test. You know, you wouldn't get much change out of the result. Certainly not of today. So, you know, it was a true test, and I was always happy on my filly. She just needed a little bit of help coming down the dip, but you know, that can often be the case with horses running at the Rolling Mile for the first time. So, you know, but you couldn't help but not be impressed with how she came out of it and up the hill, up the rising ground. You know, she really motored home, and you know, she pulled up way up in the distance. So delighted with her, and delighted with everything she's done all year, and it's lovely for her to finish off like that.
I wasn't at Doncaster, but I just heard from Charlie that she was a bit more of a handful beforehand there compared to today.
Yeah, and I think she's just learning. You know, I think she ran twice at Newmarket July course, and then she had a first trip away, as to speak, to Doncaster, and I think she learned plenty that day. You know, when she hit the front, she looked around a little bit, but she had plenty left. So I think that experience she really brought into today, and she was much more the finished article. But I still believe that there's improvement left in her for next year.
Further physical and mental maturity. Will she be better equipped to deal with the dip for the 1,000 Guineas now?
Yeah, it's not a worry, because I mean she's still going at a good pace. So you know, it's not like she doesn't necessarily lose momentum. And you know, she's a 4 or 5 length Fillies Mile winner. So you know, I would say she handles the track just fine.
She's very exciting. And how far beyond the mile do you see her staying? You'd be sure of 10, wouldn't you?
You would be pretty hopeful of 10, certainly. She always has finished her races off really well, and you know, you'd be hopeful of 10, and then you're sort of thinking the obvious, aren't you? A mile and a half. So, but that's early to say. So, you know, we'll winter first, and everyone get together, I'm sure, and make a plan.
Well, with a very impressive Group 1 win, she's firmly at the top of the pile, but just peeking out of the bunch now with that really good start to her career, Verse of Love. What did you make of that?
Really pleased with her. You know, she couldn't have first run, and for her to do it like she did was lovely. You know, again, she's a filly that you'd imagine will improve with the winter on her back, and she's obviously beautifully bred filly. So you know, when you have that and a specimen in itself, then you're just hoping that they can run, and she can. So it's she's again plenty to look forward to for next year.
And she'll be the kind of filly to see in a trial and to see where she is at the start of the year.
Yeah, she seems quite speedy at the moment, certainly. So, but you know, she will get a mile next year. I'm sure you'll see her in the spring somewhere, and then we'll take a view then where she'll end up.
Really good day, great excitement for next season. Well done.
Thank you very much, Lydia. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Cheers.
Watch live racing now on racingtv.com.